Hello, good people. Dr. Andy here from Innate Balance Chiropractic and Life Coaching Center, Johannesburg, South Africa. Quite a cool day today. We have just about a week left now of our lockdown, hopefully. It won't be extended. Today's video is going to be a chiropractic tip, and this one is going to focus more on how to sit correctly at your desk. Many of you will be working from home during the corona crisis, and so I just wanted to show you how to correct your posture when you're sitting at your desk and working. So if you hopefully have a good office chair, then this video will show you how to use that correctly, because no matter how good the chair is that you have or how much you've spent on it, if you don't sit on it correctly, it is not going to keep your posture good. So to avoid you having to see your chiropractor more frequently than you really should, today's video is going to be very much on how to sit properly in your desk. I'm just going to give you some tips and pointers and things that you can look out for when you're working at home. So most important thing is to try and keep a straight spine when you're sitting at your desk. And so a lot of people, I'm going to show you what people do, the things that people do wrong, the incorrect way of sitting at the desk. A lot of people will sit on the edge of the chair, right? And eventually they end up slouched over the desk like this. Shoulders are a little shrugged up. If the keyboard is a little too close, the shoulders are a little shrugged up and they're sitting over there, and eventually gives you shoulder pain, neck pain. You might even get some mid or upper back pain from slouching over your desk. So what you want to do first, make sure you slide right back into your chair, right? And pull your chair as close as you can to your desk. So you're sitting now pretty close to your desk, leaning slightly back. Remember that if you are sitting dead up straight, your center of gravity is still slightly forward. And if you have to relax your body completely, you're going to end up slumping and slouching. So slightly back in your chair, not leaning all the way back. I know there's a lot of these office chairs is really comfy to just sort of lean right back and get comfy in there. That's not ideal. Make sure you're sort of in that position over there, so just slightly back from the vertical plane. And then make sure your keyboard is pushed out a little away from you, right? So if I get closer to my desk here, it's pushed out a little away from me so that my elbows are making an angle a little bit more than 90 degrees. If you've got a 90-degree angle, you tend to shrug your shoulders up so that you can type. If the keyboard is pushed slightly away from you, the arms can rest comfortably on the desk and you can type without actually shrugging up your shoulders, and it's a very comfortable position. And in this position, if I need to completely relax, nothing changes. My posture stays the same. Now, remember, this is assuming you have an office chair that has the lumbar support that is keeping that curve of your lumbar spine into your back. So that's giving you the support in your lumbar spine. Keyboard is on the desk a little away from you, so you're typing comfortably, and your mouse is also a little further away from you. You don't want to have to be using your mouse. If I use this hand, over here, so that you're shrugging up the shoulder to use your mouse. Make sure that the mouse is a little further away from you over there. And if I use this hand over here, if you use my left hand, most of us will use right, but if you use my left hand for the purpose of demonstration, it's going to be a little further away from you, so the arm is nice and relaxed on the desk while you're using your mouse. Then your monitor, right? Your screen. Your screen needs to be in the center of your desk, all right? So it is directly in front of you. It is not off to the side. It is directly in front of you. The top of the screen needs to be at eye level. Okay, so it's not the center of the screen at eye level. It is the top of your screen needs to be at eye level. All right, mine is a little low here on the desk. It's not the right height. Fortunately, I don't spend a lot of time behind a desk and looking at a computer screen. If you're using two or more screens, two screens, you want to have the separation between the two screens in the middle so that your head only turns very slightly to the left and the right when you're using the two screens. If you're using three screens, then your middle screen is in the center and the two outer screens are on either side. That way you're minimizing how much you turn your head left and right to look at your screens. Right, then another tip that I'm going to offer you here is, this is something a lot of people do not know. Have a footrest, a box or a footrest or something like that underneath your desk that you can rest your feet on. You can cross your ankles, but don't cross your legs. Crossing the legs is a big no-no. It twists the pelvis. It will eventually cause low back pain. So make sure you can just cross your ankles, but put your feet up on a box under the desk. What this is going to do, it lengthens the hamstring. So a lot of people sit with their knees bent, which shorten up the hamstring so that when you stand up, it causes the pelvis to tilt backwards like that, flattening out your lumbar spine. That gives you those flat buttocks. So with your legs extended out in front of you on a box, you are going to lengthen those hamstrings. And it's also going to get you to lean back in your chair, right? So it will prevent you from coming forward in your chair. Now, what happens with a lot of people is they might start off well, right? And let's assume I don't have a box here, but they might start off well, and then they want to have a look closely at something on the screen. They do this to go and have a look at what's on the screen, and then instead of coming back into the right position, they end up slumping down in the chair, and then they start working like this. So having that box there will prevent you from leaning forward, and if you do, it makes it a little uncomfortable because of the stretch in the hamstrings, and get you to sit back in your chair again. So having a footrest, really, really a great tip and a great hack to getting good posture in your chair at your desk. And then lastly, what I want to mention here is make sure you set a timer on your phone. Set a timer to go off, and this is in the beginning until you get used to having a good posture at your desk. Set a timer on your phone to go off every hour. Because every hour you want to get up and just walk around, even if it's just for 5 minutes or so. So set that timer to go off, and you can also then check your posture every hour and see how you're sitting. See if you've developed into the slouched position like this, and then you can reassess how you're sitting, correct your posture, and go and sit in the right posture again. The two really bad postures that we have at our desk is the slouched one over the desk like this, and then of course the lazy one where you're leaning right back into your chair and your lower back is actually curving out of its normal curve, which is meant to run inward. It's now curving into an outward curve. So instead of a concave curve, if you're looking at it from the side, it is now a convex curve. And we call that a lordosis. So instead of a lordosis, you've now got a kyphosis in your lumbar spine. That is also something we don't want. It happens with a lot of people who do a lot of gaming. They will lean back and they'll have this kyphosis instead of a lordosis, or they'll have a convexity instead of a concavity in the lumbar spine. And that'll eventually also lead to things like disc problems and mechanical issues in your spine. You're going to need to see your chiropractor more often. On that note, how often should you see your chiropractor? So people ask me that all the time. It is, I suppose, very similar to asking your car dealer or your mechanic, how often should I have my car serviced? Well, it all depends on how you're driving your car. How fast are you driving your car? How much mileage are you putting onto it every day? Are you hard on your car? Are you driving your car carefully? Are you looking after it? Are you not looking after it when you drive? So these factors apply to your body as well. How are you looking after your body? If somebody has to say to me, well, you know, I work a 14-hour day, I get home, I have my dinner, I sit on the couch, I have a beer, and I watch some TV and I go to bed. Stress levels are really high, my job is very demanding. Someone like that is going to need to see their chiropractor probably every 2 weeks before or to avoid developing spinal problems or mechanical issues and back pain and all those sort of things. If somebody has, and we'll take the other extreme now because that is on this side, if we take the other extreme, you know, if somebody has a really active lifestyle, they're spending, you know, the normal sort of 8 hours at work every day, they're taking breaks in between, they're exercising most days of the week, say 5 to 6 days a week they're exercising, keeping their core strong, their stress levels are very low, they've got a happy family life, all that sort of thing. Somebody like that probably only needs to see their chiropractor every 3 months to keep them healthy, or to keep their spines healthy and keep their alignment in good shape. But that does not mean that athletes, you know, athletes are a different thing altogether. If you're a competitive athlete, you probably need to see your chiropractor regularly because you are now performing at a peak. And in order to be able to perform at your peak, you need to make sure that your body's mechanics are always kept good. If you want to, you know, whether it's run faster or swims faster or row stronger or push heavier weights, your chiropractor can help you do that through keeping your spine mechanics correct, stimulating the central nervous system to make sure your muscles are getting the best neurological input that they can. So I hope those tips help. Not long from now, I'm going to release another video, and this will be a little bit of a chiropractic hack or a home hack on how to use, if you don't have an office chair, how to use a dining room chair or a chair with a decent back, how to hack that to be a good office chair and be able to use that at home, because not everybody can get an office chair in their homes. So I'm going to teach you how to use a normal, let's say, dining room chair as an office chair at home, and how to modify it so that you're sitting correctly at your desk. If this is the first time that you're watching the video and you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. If you're happy with the content, share it with your friends. And if you want to see future uploads, hit that bell notification so that you get notified when I do release the next video. And I appreciate you watching to the end. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching the channel. And welcome to Innate Balance. We look forward to helping you again in the future. You take care. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy.